said, that's Meade County and Radcliffe, essentially. The reason why I'm running is because it just feels to me like we have lost our way. We all know politics has gotten just insane. And I'm just a regular person that is looking around and saying, can't we do better than this? I have a 19-year-old who looks to me like, why is my future so bleak? Well, I've got the time now. I'm an empty nester. She's in her first year of college. I retired from a lifetime of public service back in 2017, and I'm deciding that this is how I'm going to continue to serve. So looking forward to doing great things with John when we get to Frankfurt. A little bit about my background. I first came to Meade County when I was 12, when my father married this sweet young thing from the country. My mom kicked him to the curb, and he was miserable for about 6 months, and then he met Ann. And I'll never forget the first time I got out of the car in Meade County. Where I grew up in Louisville, in Fur Creek, it was rural. There were farms. It was a little 2-lane road, but I'd never seen anything like Meade County. When I got out of the car, that feeling of pressure on my ears because it was so quiet. I don't know if any of y'all know what I'm talking about, but we're all rural, so hopefully you do. It was just a magical place. It was a working dairy farm in those days, and I could go on about the stories about that. But anyway, I knew from a very young age that Meade County, that Kentucky, that our rural state, it's got so much to love. And I'm concerned, now that I'm retired and I'm back, I moved back in 2017, moved back in next door to my parents, and I'm concerned that we're losing that. Abby mentioned the data centers. So I'm on planning and zoning in Meade County, and the way I got there was I would show up to the magistrates meetings and I would have opinions on stuff, and everybody's like, who is that woman? Who is that woman? So there was an opening on planning and zoning, and they ended up asking me if I wanted to do it. So that's been a very interesting experience, but I know for a fact that people that are in our current local government were behind this. But now all of a sudden that they realize that it's unpopular, they suddenly don't know anything about it. They don't know how it got there. They don't know, it's like this, if you thought the data center was a good idea, why not just say, I thought it was a good idea, I was wrong, I'm sorry. And you won't do that next time. Why can't you just say that? Instead of trying to put the blame on other people. That lack of transparency, I think, is really a tremendous problem. And what I can promise any people here that are potential voters for me is that if I know it, you'll know it. I'm the person that when the boss, you're at the staff meeting, the boss is heading on and saying, everybody's looking at each other confused, like, what's she talking about? I'm the person that will say, she says our product sucks and we have to redo it. Oh, okay. I'm that person, so I will make sure that if I know you know in a way that is readily understandable. I'm a veteran. I spent 6 years in the Navy, and then another 12 years working in electric utility. And then I was privileged enough to become a diplomat, which was really cool. So I spent 20 years in the United States Foreign Service representing our great nation all around the world. I served in Mexico, Colombia, and Bolivia, and Vienna, Austria. I worked on the Iran nuclear issue. Egypt, and my last job overseas was as spokesperson at our embassy in Afghanistan. So it was a really great career along the way. I got to work with the Army a lot. I taught the Army Academy General Staff College. I have a master's degree at the Naval War College. So anyway, I've done a lot of stuff, and I'm used to being a very useful educator. So I'm hoping to continue to be of service, and I hope that come November you will vote for me. So thank you.